Hey everybody, Mikeycat Outdoors here. So what are we doing today? Well, I got an updated Warbonnet Ridgerunner hammock. So let's check it out. Hey everybody, this is the Warbonnet Ridgerunner bridge hammock. This is the updated version from 2019 forward. I have an older version that I got in 2018, and biggest differences that I've really seen so far on this one is just the way that the suspension hooks onto the poles. On the older one, I have my other video, it's got a metal bracket flange that the suspension hooks onto and mounts to this strap here, and then the pole would just come into a little hole in the metal aluminum bracket. This one, it's just got the loop right there in the Amsteel itself, so it's just a little bit of weight savings on it. And I mean, I'm sure there might be a couple other modifications on this, but just from initial looks pretty similar to what I've got on the old one. So the Ridgerunner is a bridge style hammock. It fits users up to 6 foot 6 inch tall. It's got large saddlebags at the front on each side there. It's very good for storage for large and small items. The netting will unzip. I got it slightly unzipped there on the side. And so there's just one pair of zipper poles for that. So you can actually unzip it and stuff it down in the end, on the foot end. And it's got built-in head and neck contour and baggy end caps for additional storage space. So this one is a double layer. You can actually put a thermarest pad like the hard foam ones in there, and that'll take you down to a good 50-60 degrees without an underquilt. If you go below that in temperature, you probably want to buy either a Lynx underquilt from Warbonnet, or you can buy one from Jax or Better. They've got a special one that fits on the bridge style hammocks. They fit a little differently on the ends than they would on a regular gathered end one. So typically you'd like clip up at the ends of the rope, and that's kind of where, you know, you'd have your beaners just clip onto that, and you know, it's similar but different. You don't have all the cordage and stuff compared to the regular one. The weight rating on this, since this is a double layer, hold up to 250 pounds. And the hammock weight without the suspension for 30D fabric is 1 pound 4 1/4 ounces. For 40 denier fabric, it'd be 1 pound 8.6 ounces. So it's not too bad. Spreader bar weight is 12 ounces for the set. The head poles up here are 3-piece pole, and it's wider at the head end. The foot end down here is just a 2-piece pole, and it's narrower at the foot end. So whenever you got the foot pole and the head pole all nestled together in your stuff, that's the easiest way to basically tell the difference. And they actually have a slightly different color on them, at least on this set. So the foot end's kind of grayish, the head end's kind of black. I would say, as far as a suggestion, anything you may want to change to it, what I like to do on my hammocks is to usually put like some sort of red indicator for the head end. So when I'm unpacking them, I know that red is for head and black is for foot. And you know, it makes it easier to pack and unpack if I want to orient it a certain way. That's really about the only difference that I would do with any of these hammocks. But this one's pretty good. I've got the 2018 version, and I say there's not much of a difference that I see, except for the way that the poles mount on. And because this doesn't have the aluminum pieces at the end where the poles mount on, it's going to be a little bit lighter. So I got my little helper here trying this out. What do you think?
Nice.
Nice?
It's a little bit cold without a cover.
Yeah, need the quilts and all that. It's probably a brisk 50-degree day out here today. So that's one thing you definitely want to have, either an underpad if you have a double layer one, or an underquilt for cool weather. And like I said, there's a couple of quilt options out there for the bridge style hammocks, but I'll say, lay on your side, lay on your belly, try rolling around in this a little bit and see what you think. Well, not roll off the edge. But that does illustrate a good point. A bridge style hammock is going to be a little more wobbly when you first get in and out, and you gotta be a little careful on, you know, how you orient yourself in something like this. But it's great for sleeping on your back. You can sleep on your side if you're in the middle of it, and you can sleep on your back, stomach and stuff if you're on the, you know, center of the hammock. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Stay in the center so you don't roll off. But that's one area where bridge hammocks kind of have an advantage over a gathered end, is that if you're the type that's going to roll around a little bit or sleep on your side or stomach, you can do more of those sleeping positions in a bridge style hammock than you could in a regular gathered end. Gathered end, you're pretty much sleeping at an angle and you're sleeping flat. And here too, you won't get calf ridge on your legs because you don't have anything that's really stretched that's going to cause you any discomfort around your legs, you know, your calves and knee areas and stuff. So that's another advantage of it. So if you see these straps on the inside and the outside of the foot end here, that's if you want to take this net off. And since there's one set of zippers, which I have on the side right now, you can take one up to the very end there, and then the other one you'll have to unzip the whole rest of the way and come down here. So you only have two zipper pulls, and that way you can just roll it up and just stuff it down here at the end if you want this open to the air. You do have a little bit of room back here behind the head. There's a little divot that you can store stuff in back here, and I'll show you that here. My son opened it up for us, so just a little bit of space here. And then of course the side pockets are really great. As you can see, I've got like a hammock, I've got two quilts in here. Yeah, there's a bit of room in these side pouches, and that's one of the really nice things about this hammock is you got a lot of space. The only bad thing is you do not have a center ridgeline on this like a regular hammock. So if you want a hang time hook or something that you're going to hang up above you to do like movies or whatnot, it's a lot harder to do it with this. Now, I guess you could add one in because there is a little loop here.
And here.
And there's a loop here. Aha! So I think that is one difference from the old one. If people were making mods or having them modded to do that sort of stuff before. So I guess on this one you actually could take like a piece of shot cord if you wanted, or string, and just put one of these little, you know, tension adjusters on them, and then you could just make yourself a nice little ridge line for that very purpose. That's cool. So what do you think of this overall?
It's nice.
It's nice?
And you can let the air.
Yep. Yep, you can open it up. Now, I'm not going to take that off yet because I've got the net strung up to the suspension. So, you're just going to have to suffer with that net for a while.
This is fine. At least it works as a blanket.
Yeah.
Because I am very cold.
So this is the type of hammock you can sit on if you want to. I had my little buddy go inside for a while. But yeah, I mean, this is a comfortable hammock. It's great for laying flat. It's great for not having calf ridge. You know, you can sleep on your side. If you roll a little bit, you're fine as long as you don't go over to the edge. You might flip yourself over. But plenty of storage, and it's not too bad. You got a little bit of a weight penalty with the pole set compared to a regular bridge end or a gathered end hammock. And, you know, it's a trade-off that it depends on your comfort level, what you want. But if you have problems sleeping in a regular hammock at a diagonal to lay flat and you get a calf ridge or you get other problems, you like to roll around, this can give you some more options for getting a better night's sleep. The older you get, the worse your back gets. Hammocks kind of become a nice luxury to be able to have when you're camping. Like I say, you know, this one being a double layer, you can slip a pad in there and it makes you lay nice and flat, gives you back support, and you know, just keeps that cold air off of you so you aren't freezing at night. Like I said, if you get too cold though in the temperature ranges, you definitely want to put an underquilt on this, and you know, it'll still work. So the price on this with the double layer and everything, it's $250, and you can get a polyester version that's in camo that's I think about $300. I just like to stay with the simple nylon fabrics. To me, nylon's a little, you know, got a little bit of stretch to it, which can be good or bad. They're definitely a tougher fabric than polyester, but if you're not really abusing the thing, you're probably not going to notice a difference. So that's all just personal preference on what you want and how much you want to spend. If you want the camouflage for some reason, you can buy it. I like that more for like a tarp or something, you know, it's maybe a little more visible. But for the hammocks themselves, I just go with either like a green or a brown if I want to blend in. And if I want something vibrant that I could see, I could probably go with a red or a yellow or something like that. It'd be kind of cool. So as far as comfort goes, this is fairly comfortable for my back. I've currently got the foot end slightly above my head end. I could actually change that if I want. I don't suspect that I would ever slide around in this too much. So if I had reflux or something, I could probably put the head end up a little more and, you know, just not have all that stuff kind of draining down into me. That's one nice thing about this. By them adding these little loops up here on the head end and the foot end, that is going to be a really nice touch for this updated model. Like I say, you can add then the user add-on pseudo ridgeline to this, and then if you've got a little organizer you want to put on here, you can put it in, or you could go and put your hang time hook up here and then just hook your phone to it, watch your movies, and that would be a really cool option to have for this. So yeah, I'm gonna dig that. Love the pockets. As one of the things I like about this is that you got everything right here where you need it. You know, the Warbonnet XLC, they have kind of that little, you know, shelf that you can put stuff in, but you got to kind of guy line it off a little bit. This, it's all right here. You don't have to worry about extra guy lines and stuff. So it makes that setup a little easier. And as far as the bug net, it's not too bad. It stays off your head, you know, so if there's stuff buzzing around, you don't really have to worry about it being like right up on you. When you're in a regular hammock and you're kind of laying off at an angle, your head or your foot could be right next to the bug net, you know, and so a skeeter or something could get to you. But on here, nah, you're not really going to have that problem. Yeah, as long as you take the bug cover far enough up around the head end, you can sit up in this guy if you're more centered mass on it, and you're not just gonna flip over. If you mount this right, it, you know, can perform pretty much like a gathered end with the additional advantages for the comfort sleep. Now when it comes to the underquilts, like a regular one for a gathered end hammock, they usually take like both sides of the shot cord and they bring it together, and you'll usually have one hook for a quilt for a gathered end hammock that you would hook on to like your continuous loop at the end of your gathered end hammock. On this one, you're going to need the different type of quilt, or you could probably modify one if you know what you're doing and decouple your shot cord if you had to, because basically then you're going to need 2 carabiners for each end, one for each side, so that way it can hook onto the corner suspension there and keep that draped open right. If you try to do this, I really wouldn't even know where you would hook this up to with just one beaner. So that's one thing. So you can get the Lynx Underquilt from Warbonnet. You can get the there's one of them, I forgot which model it is, on Jacks or Better, and I think Dutchware also has a similar quilt, because they've got their Banyan bridge hammock, which is similar to this with some differences, and those are options if you want a quilt system for it. So one nice thing about this being a double layered hammock is that you can actually fit a Thermarest ridge rest or similar type of rigid foam pad in here, and this will give you the ability to stay warm on 60-degree nights and whatnot, and gives you a little bit of extra rigidity if you want it. And it's a little bit of a weight penalty to have that extra layer, but it's nice. It also, having that in there, you don't have to worry about bugs biting you in the butt. So you can see how the hammock with the pad underneath, it contours in here a bit, and this is nice. I mean, you just kind of find a nice flat area in the middle here, and you just relax yourself to sleep. And yes, I am very, very tempted to take a nap out here. I had another hammock set up a little while ago, and I took a 2-hour nap in there. Didn't even realize it. I just zonked out. So if I put a top quilt on me, yeah, I'm probably gonna go to La La Land and just snore away for a few hours. Now I'll never get to sleep tonight. So by putting a rigid foam sleep pad underneath this between the 2 layers, it's added to the rigidity of the structure a bit, and it's a really comfortable lay-in here. There's a little bit of a scooped contour that your body just lays into, and it's great for laying on your back, or if you're a side sleeper, you can sleep on your side, or likewise if you roll around your belly or something, you can do that in this kind of hammock. You just make sure that you don't go too far off to the edge or something, because with any hammock, you do that, you're gonna roll over. But this hammock gives a lot of flexibility in getting a good night's sleep. And for people that roll around or change positions a bit, this can be a very comfortable option for you to explore. So one thing I did go ahead and do on this one, like I did with my old one, I took my paint marker out and I scrawled some red on the head end of the suspension, and likewise up here on the carabiner, so that way I can just visually distinguish it when I'm taking it out of the bag. Red for head and black for foot. It makes it a little bit easier. Well, everybody, if you like what you've seen, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you again in the outdoors. As always, thanks for watching.